Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nesha and we are playing KSP 1.41. So today we're gonna do the trip all the way to orbit to Eve, all the way from Kerbin. So I was thinking a last minute adjustment I'm gonna do on my interplanetary science towers here is actually dump some fuel, because I will not be using all this fuel. I don't need around 8,000 fuel, so I will dump around 1,000 to make the ship a little bit lighter, so we get a little bit more thrust to weight ratio, because I will probably be able to do this trip with just 5,500 delta V if everything works well, or 6,000, but yeah, I think this will be enough. Yeah, I'm just adjusting here. Okay, let's see. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I've dumped some of the fuel there, so let's go to the launch pad. Yeah, as I said, I will probably not be using all that fuel, so there was no reason for me to haul around a lot of fuel that I'm gonna dump, because that's just as I said, I will not reuse this wing. So I will speed up the launch here for you guys, then we will meet each other at orbit around 250,000 meters above Kerbin surface. Okay, cool, so I have circularized Kerbin here, so it's time to plan our journey for Eve here. First, we need to get everything working here. Okay, I got this seeing Kerbin bug. Wait a moment. Okay, I have reloaded my game, so we're still around 142 meters delta V left here. We will not need it for anything, so let's start staging here. And yeah. We're just leaving some one propellant to get some distance there. Oh yeah, I love when that happens. Oh, don't float into my engines here. So yes, now we are, let's activate our engines. Cool, so let's toggle our solar panels with our antennas. If you're wondering how this is built, I made a whole episode where I built this construction of this interplanetary vehicle that can spend around 8,000 delta V in space. So yeah, so now we have everything ready. Let's just activate our reaction wheels. I turn them off to be able to have a more safer accent from Kerbin, otherwise everything will bend. Yes, it will help with some struts, but I prefer to just not use reaction wheels when I'm flying in the atmospheres. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, I can. The shipping can be without any reaction wheels. So what we want to do now, I think I want to see if I can make this curve trajectory better, our orbit around here, so it's closer to each other. By using some monopropellants, I have changed it a bit. So let's see here. So we want to raise our parapets a bit, so I will go here. Then I will point myself into the prograde and just nudge it a bit forward so we can raise that. Oh well, I have monopropellant on. Let's turn it off here. Okay. So I'm 1 minute from the highest point. I can be a bit closer. I just want to be this as exact as possible. Okay, so we have 250. I think I will go for this one, and then I will go lower this one. Here is let's point ourselves to retrograde and go to the lowest point. And we will just, I want those be close to each other, so yeah. Because it will help my next part here. I'm trying out a new mod called Windows Spanner or something like that. We'll check that out in a moment. I'm just gonna shave some meters off that one here. Let's get a bit closer. So we are. Last part here. And that is really close to each other. I don't really need to be so exact, but something like that would be awesome. Okay, cool. So we are 18 seconds from the lowest point. Yeah, that is really close to each other. It's around 255,000. So let's make a maneuver here. We're gonna plan our Eve transfer with the help of, let's see what it is called, transfer window planner. So we have this is our initial orbit around Kerbin, which is 255 kilometers, and we want to go to Eve. We want to, okay, it erased everything for me there. Okay, 225 again, and I think that is, let's go at the same here, and then we'll press plot it. So here we can see the most optimal window for our transfer to Eve, and it's really fantastic because it's just used a small amount. That's quite much, but it's okay. Oh, it's taking account into the insert or insertion. Delta V will be around 1300. So we're gonna copy all these details. You can do this manually or use it here. So, but I found out of this plugin. The reason why I found out this, you can transfer it from the window planner mod. So I got curious about the mod because it was just in precise maneuver that I've been using for a very long time. So cool, so now it has copied all of the data. As we can see here, is 1 year to 422 days until we need to execute our maneuver. So, and also when I was looking on the window planner, I found this Kerbal alarm mod. It helps out here. But let's first check how it went with our maneuver here. So let's remove this. We have. So it's really cool because it just takes around 938 Delta V to go all the way to Eve. If I'm doing it on my own with my eyeballing, trying to match off everything, I will not get even close to it. So we have an even counter here already close to that. So let's check Eve here. So we can see our. I think we'll execute this one. Let's see if we can get yeah, that's close enough. If I go, I think if I go 0.1, I can get a little bit closer. So it's really fantastic. It takes like, it takes me like 20 minutes to do something like this. Okay, so we got that orbit here. So that's, oh, okay. We could plan anything from here, but that is a very good maneuver. But it's in 1 year and 422 days, so I have to skip that plot. So let's go to our tracking station. That mod is so helpful. So let's get rid of all our comnets. I think we will have a good enough here, and we can check out Eve over here. So we're gonna do the transfer for it there. So I'm in the tracking station because it can speed up time a lot faster than you can do in orbit around Kerbin. So partially we'll spend 1 year and 422 days orbiting around Kerbin. So, but I have installed Assassin's Creed Origins, our favorite game at the current moment, so she can play that all the way until she gets tired of it. Okay, so what we want to do now, what I usually did, you can do it too. I will probably do every second episode when I do so, because I don't want to lose the navigation skills to do it on my own. But this time I will use Windows Planner. But usually what you have to do is kind of wait until this matches up in a good way. I'm thinking is 45 degrees ahead on Eve, I'm not sure, so Eve needs to be for... you can check it up in my other videos. Okay, so let's go edit this one, and this is why I like this one, so I don't have to time warp like... I'm not sure what I'm gonna time warp, so I made an alarm based on what I did in the Windows Planner and then put it inside here. So we will be 6 hours before our maneuver node. So yeah, this is easy things here. So it will stop by itself here. So I can just start waiting here. We can see here in the Kerbal alarm clock and how much more time we have to wait. So yeah, this will help out a lot. It will shorten the episodes for me, especially when I'm doing these time transfers, because they can be really tricky to hit. But I will not solely depend on it. I think in the next time I go to Eve, I will do it manually. So every second time I will cheat with a Windows Planner. But I can tell you guys, I think my best encounter was around 1400 Delta V, and this one put it around 938. So it's quite a cool mod, because it actually sets you up right at the perfect moment. So we are approaching 50 days until we have to finish our maneuver. So yeah, we have spent a lot of time here. We can see here she has been out in space for 1 year and 420 days. And as you can see here, our alarm clock is slowing us down just 6 hours before a maneuver. So it's really easy here. This is, I kind of cut down 30 minutes to 45 minutes for me by doing this, yeah. So it has been a lot easier than I usually have, because yeah, it takes a lot of time for me, because yeah, I don't know why, yeah. Because I have to guess a lot. I'm not sure how to do everything perfectly, so I guess a lot. I don't really know how to do things. That's why it takes me such a long time. And that is probably why it's important that sometimes to do these kind of things on your own. But this time I choose to use this one, and I think this will work perfectly. So I'm pointing ourselves into the maneuver. We have our maneuver node is in 1 day and 30 minutes. So if we speed up time a bit here, we'll probably need to go around Kerbin a couple of times before it's time for a maneuver. So yeah, let's speed this up. Okay, time to burn. So you can see there we are eating on our lowest point here, our abyss, and this can become a real problem. But this time it wasn't. I don't have such a long burn. It will affect me very much, but it can be a problem if you're very close and your lowest point is very close to the atmosphere. We are about to escape soon here. We are at the orbit around Minimus now, so yeah, it goes really, really fast, the last part. Here we have the escape, so let's zoom out. We can see our curve here, or trajectory. I think I will slow down around 20 meters per second, so we don't miss our encounter here. I think I will slow already. So we go slow, slow, slow. Okay, we have an encounter there already. This mod is excellent. So let's go check where we are here. So we have our prograde is matching up with our target here. So let's see if I go a little bit manually here. I think I will do a course adjustment a bit later. But that's good. It started to shift here, so we are right under it. We'll mess about with that with the course correction as soon as we, let's see. I need to go back to my ship. Okay, cool. So there we have the escape. Another thing that Kerbal alarm clock does is you can warp to different points there. So I'm now warping just when we are about to escape the sphere of influence of Kerbin here. So. But I think always it goes a little bit too slow for my taste, so let's see if we can force it to go faster. So let's get that escape. I think we will be going in this direction. Yes. So now we have escaped the Kerbin system's influence of our gravity. So let's put it up a little bit later, so we have time to adjustment. So let's focus on Eve. So there we have Eve. We want to be. So let's start working on this. I'm not sure which way Eve is traveling. It's that way, so let's do it like that, so I know that. So I think Eve will be spinning in this direction too. So yeah, I want to match up that. So let's see. We are currently under Eve, so let's see if we can fix it. Okay, that was a little bit too much. I think we need to go normal, anti-normal here. And I want us to be in an equator orbit, so let's try to set up there. I think we'll be needing to do some more adjustments when we get closer. So the Eve's atmosphere, I think it's around 80,000 meters. So yeah, we talked about the setting up just as, okay, let's see. That's a little bit too much. It's not super important. That's good enough. And let's see. So that is the orbit we have. Yeah, I think I need to set it up, but let's make this adjustment before, and then I will mess about a little bit more later. Okay, cool. So let's go to our craft, as I want to have really slow burns here. So let's set our thrust limiters to 10% of the fuel. That will make it a little bit easier to do adjustments. Cool. Then the point and maneuver. So without changing our thrust limiters, it will be a 6 seconds burn, but I want it to be super long burn here, so we really get a fine adjustment. So we have 1 minute and 20 seconds burn. That's cool. Exactly how I wanted, a longer burn, so it will be easier. So let's focus on our ship. Yes, always. You can press Shift Tab, but then you start your engines. Or you can press backspace if it works for you. You will get back to your ship. But I always have to tab all the way between. So let's zoom in here. So we have a maneuver in 29 minutes. So if I go here, it will halfway, it will be 15. Oh, so marking 3 minutes. That's fine with me. And trying this out, so this is a Kerbal alarm clock that has set this up, so this will be 3 minutes out, and we will have 40 seconds burns before and 40 seconds behind, yeah. So, okay, cool. And we want to focus on E while doing this, so we can see how it adjusts our course real time. Okay, 10 seconds out, so let's burn at 40. So we have started our burn, so we can see it's really slow here. But yes, this is exactly how I want it, so we don't overshoot it or anything. So yeah, it will take time, but I will see what's happening here. So we are more or less coming up under Eve here. So okay, we can see it starting to wrap to our maneuver trajectory here. Cool. And as closer you get to Eve, the more delta E it will cost you. This adjustment just cost a very small amount to do. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it already. So we can see it ramping down here. I think I want to set it like that instead. Yes, I think I will need to do an inclination change while I'm doing the orbiting, because I want to burn around this and get around this so we can start gathering all the science from the orbit here. So yeah, let's first point ourselves to the maneuver. The reason for this is just cinematics. So what I want to do here, I think I don't want to do any more course adjustments. So I want to, the reason why I'm pointing ourselves into the prograde is because it's cooler to watch your ship, because then I can line up and we can see what we are flying here. So we have Minimus there, Kerbin there, so we are currently there. I think we have dropped down behind it. I can see here. Okay, let's see. So let's just wait here. See if we can spot anything here. We are 80 days out. Okay, now we are pointing in the prograde, yeah. So something is coming in there. There is Kerbin. I'm not sure where everything is. Okay, we got a lot of science from my automatic science gatherer, because I hate gathering science manually. It drives me crazy to click on everything. Also here we have Eve. Can we see Yelly? So yeah, so this is my first time to Eve. So yeah, and if you're following this series, it's first time in series 2. So yeah. Okay, so let's go back to our ship. So we have a small danger here, as we are just using a probe. Charlene is a scientist. We are very dependent on having contact all the way to the Kerbin, otherwise we will have a very bad time here. So let's see here. Let's add a maneuver here. So it looks like the gilly is in different inclinations than we have Eve in, so cool. I'm not sure why. So, and we can't have our delta V at 0.1 any longer because it will not be a big difference. But we can still make adjustments here. Let's see. Let's go pro grade. Can't really see the number of the EV is there. We want to be. And we will fix our inclination afterwards. It will cost us a lot of delta V, but we still have around 6,240 delta V, so it's not like we have to be cheap with our choices here. So first of all, let's go back to our ship before I mess this up. Put our thrust limiters. Let's do this small course adjustment. Just gathering some science here. Oh wait, I want to have some EVA here, so let's just see that. Let's stop our time warp. Get EVA. Hello, Charlene. It was the first time I've been out for almost 2 years. How does it feel? Yeah, she wants to go right inside again and play Assassin's Creed Origins instead. So cool. Let's worry about the science later. We will be orbiting over it all the time, so. Okay, time to get ready. It's a lot of time warping here, so yeah, it takes time for me here. So finally I can execute this maneuver. Okay, cool enough. That is close enough for us here, so let's plan our next maneuver. We want to do it at the lowest point. So let's switch our focus on the maneuver here. So let's see, let's first chocolize and see if we can get this to be a more equator. It's not perfect. 1808, yeah, that's a big burn to do for us here. So let's see, maneuver. Okay, I want to see that one. Is that one? Yeah. So 260 meters. Let's see if we can change that a bit more. Yeah, I fixed. Yeah, that's okay. I don't need a perfect equator orbit. It will just cost me a lot of delta V to do. I should probably plan this a little bit better, but this is good enough. So let's point ourselves into the maneuver. As we will have 11 minutes and 9 seconds burn, so it will take us a lot of time to execute, so I have to have time warp this. Okay, it's time to burn here, 5 minutes and 44 seconds before and after. Yeah, and 5 minutes and 34 seconds afterwards, so let's speed this up. It will be a long burn. So yeah, I'm time warping fully here. Okay, so we are at the last part here. It takes a lot of LTV. We spent, yeah, what was it, 1800 or something? So yeah, but it will not take us more than like maximum of 1500 to get home to Kerbin here. So it shouldn't be that hard. It was a really long burn to do, but we managed there, so we are almost at the end of the episode here. I just want to gather all the science. I think a polar orbit is probably more valuable if you want to gather all the different science, because then you will pass all over all the zones there, but it will be harder, at least manually, to go all the way home to Kerbin if you do it like that. Okay. Let's see here what you got. Okay, so let's go up here. I want to bet... yeah, I don't really care if it's a little bit crooked here. It would be nice to match it up with Kerbin here with the 90-degree angle, but yeah, whatever. I think we can make it here. So let's just fix our... let's stop at 270,000 meters. And I will just lower manually the last part here. It was such a long burn, so yeah, I probably didn't execute it perfectly, but I can make it a little bit better here manually. So we are 2 minutes from the lowest point, so let's get a little bit closer. Let's just wait until our ship is pointing to our retrograde, so we can lower the point here. Okay, 1 minute from the lowest point. I think I want to be a bit closer to the Parapius there, so yeah, whatever. I will just lose a little bit lowest point here. Okay, but let's go here. I think, yes, Eve is a little bit bigger than Kerbin, I believe, so it probably has a little bit higher gravity here. So yeah, let's just go here. I want to even that number out because it's easier when we're gonna return with the Windows Planner. The closer we are to our initial value there, it will help out. So yeah, but this takes time. I always try to keep the episodes very short, and I have to cut a lot. So yeah, so the reason that's why I always try to do everything as fast as possible. Probably not the best way to play, but it should be. Otherwise, you can see me doing everything perfectly in flip. Nobody wants to watch me do everything perfectly, or maybe they won't. So okay, this is close enough. We switched those two. So what I'm going to do here, we are at the dark side of or Eve. I'm so used to her. Yeah, so she will probably level up, as we can see our log here. Orbit around Kerbin 2, plant a flag on the moon, plant a flag on Minimus, orbit around the Sound, plant a flag on Duna, plant a flag on Ike. Yeah, she has been everywhere. She's one of our veterans. That looks like some electric things was there. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do here to gather all the science here, it looks like electric storms down there. Oh yeah, this is kind of like Venus and stuff, so I think there is electric storms at the surface. And I think one of the things I will do last in this game will be landing on Eve and plant a flag and go home, because yeah, that is the most difficult things. Yeah, there is electric storms there, or flash storm weather at the surface. It's kind of, the atmosphere is so thick, it's like yellow. I read about Venus and stuff. It's so thick, and there is storms and wind, and it's really a nasty place. But Charlene likes it, or she maybe just unlocks achievements in Assassin's Creed. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you. I show it early in the series what I use for gathering all the science is a combination of two plugins. And it's this automatic science sampler and this one X science. So what this one do is to stop me when I'm over new science. So I can see that I have no, okay, EVA. So I can see that I have no EVA, but the only, so this one gathers all my science and resets it. This one, the automatic science, and this one stops me at new places. So yeah, so this is what I do. A lot less mouse clicking. You can probably set it off with the help of action groups and so on, but yeah, this is 100 times easier. So what I can do now is that it will stop my ship as soon as I'm over the new place where I haven't gathered silence. So yeah, so what I usually do there is, let's set up a maneuver there, and then I just go around, new situation here, we already have this, and then I just go around, and this plugin will stop me, and I will see if I need to do a AVA report, which I have to do manually. So it's really boring. I think the science guarantee, I mean, if it was cool animations or anything, I would probably spend a lot more time with them, but now I just feel it's a task even with this automatic system I have here. Yeah, so that was everything for this episode, and then next episode we are going home. So yeah, and that's a little bit easier than going here, I think.